Good morning, dear children. Children, we started chapter 9 of history, and our today's topic is Beyond Regional Frontiers, the story of Kathak. So, after talking about the Rajputs, now we are going to talk about the Kathak. Now, what's a Kathak? It's a dance, children. It's a dance form now. So, we are just going to talk about Kathak now. Now, children, the traditions, they can be found in different regions in different forms. Fine. So these traditions, they are different in different regions, and they have different form. Same we can talk about the dance. Even the dance has also the same thing. Now if we will talk about Kathak, now, it is associated with several parts of North India. Fine. Now, what does Kathak mean? It is derived from the term Katha, and you all know what does Katha means in Sanskrit or any other language. Katha means story. So the Kathaks, they were the people. It is a caste of storytellers. They used to tell stories in the temples of North India, and they used to give their performance by giving very beautiful gestures and by singing songs. Now Kathak, it started into a different a style of dance in the 15th and the 16th centuries, and it spread during the Bhakti movement. Now, in Kathak, children, the stories of Radha Krishna, they were enacted in folk plays, and those folk plays, they were known as Ras Leela, and they were combined with folk dance and the basic gestures of these Kathak story tellers. Now, children, during the Mughal Empire, fine, during the Mughal emperors and their nobles, the Kathak was performed in their courts. Fine, and they acquired different features, and it developed in a form of dance with a different style. So it was during the Mughals. Fine. Then subsequently it developed into two gharanas. Kathak is associated with two traditions or two gharanas. The first is the Rajasthan Jaipur gharana, and the second is the Lucknow gharana. Fine. Now, under Wajid Ali Shah, who was the last Nawab of Awadh, it grew into a major art form. It became an art form. By the third quarter of the 19th century, it became as a dance form, not only in these two regions like Jaipur and Lucknow, but it spread in the adjoining areas like Punjab, Haryana, Jammu Kashmir, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh. Fine. Lot of stress was given on the intricate footwork. Whenever you see Kathak, you will find the footwork and the costumes and how they were, enacting the stories. So, a lot of stress was given on that. Now, Kathak, children, like several other cultural practice, it views, British administration, they were not in favor of Kathak in the 19th and 20th century. Still, it survived because it was performed by the courtesans, and it was recognized as the one of the six classic dance forms of the country after the independence. And what are the rest five dance forms? So here they are, children: Bharatnatyam, Kathakali, Odissi, Kuchipudi, and Manipuri. Fine. Now, children, the next topic comes painting for patrons, the tradition of miniature. Now, miniature painting tradition. Now, the painters, they were painting for the nobles. So this was also a new tradition started of miniatures. Now, what is miniature? Now, another tradition that developed was miniature painting. Now, miniature, children, As the name suggests, very small size, means small sized paintings. So this tradition developed. Generally, it was done with watercolors on cloth or paper. The earliest miniature was done on palm leaves or on wood. Fine. Now, beautiful of these miniatures you can find in the Western India. Fine. And it was used in the Jaina text as well. These miniature paintings, they were used in the text of Jainas. Fine. Then children, the Mughal emperors like Akbar, Jahangir, Shah Jahan, they used to get skilled painters, and they were illustrating the manuscripts containing the historical accounts and poetries, and they were portraying painting with brilliant colors, and they were showing the court scenes, the scenes of battle, hunting, and other aspects of the social life of these patrons. Fine. Now they were often exchanged, these paintings were exchanged as gifts, and they were viewed only by an exclusive few, like the emperor or his close associates can only see these sort of paintings. Fine. Now after the decline of Mughal Empire, many painters, they moved out of the courts. Fine. Courts of the emerging regional states. Fine. As a result, Mughal artistic taste, it was spread, in other parts also, like Deccan, the Rajput courts of Rajasthan. At the same time, they, retained and developed, means development took place in their distinctive characteristics, like portraits of rulers, court scenes came to be painted following the Mughal example. Besides themes from mythology, now they were taking like Mahabharata or something like that, and then poetry. They were depicting, they were depicted at the centers like Mewar, Jodhpur, Bundi, Kota, Kishangarh. So they were depicting all these. It has shifted from Mughal emperors to outside. Fine. Now another region that was attracted by miniature paintings was the Himalayan foothills, which is, modern day state. It is Himachal Pradesh. So children, by the late 17th century, this region has developed bold and intense style of miniature. What is that known as? Basoli. The most popular text to be painted here was Bhanu Datta's Rasam Rasamanjari. Fine. Nadir Shah, when Nadir Shah invaded and conquered Delhi, lot of Mughal artists, they migrated to the foothills just to escape from all that was happening in the plains. Fine. So here they found ready patterns which led to the founding of the Kangra school of painting. So Kangra school of painting is very famous. By the mid 18th century, Kangra artists, they develop a different style which bred the new spirit in the miniature painting. The source of inspiration here was the Vaishnavite tradition. Fine. So, Vaishnavite something related to Vishnu, that tradition. They started using soft colors, cool blues, greens, the lyrical treatment of their themes. It made, you know, it made this Kangra painting different from others. Now, children, the ordinary women and men, they were also painting. They were painting on pots, walls, floors, clothes, but their work did not survive as the miniature painting survived. Fine, because they were done in palaces, and many other places. But these the sort of things like pots, walls, they didn't survive a lot. Fine. So then comes a closer look. Bengal. Fine. So children, see, if you talk about Bengal, just wait. Hmm. The growth of regional language. Now if you talk about the regional language, we are just going to talk about Bengal. Fine. So okay, let's do one thing. We will do this in the next module. Thank you and have a nice day.